My mom lives right down the road, but keeps disappointing my kids. Would I be wrong to go no contact? This comes from the ROK Storytime subreddit. Let's get into it. I guess I should say my son is 2 years old. I'm really struggling with this and could use some outside opinions. I have several young children and they absolutely love my mom and my younger siblings. The problem is that I don't feel like the love and effort are being returned in the same way. My mom lives right down the road from me, so it's not like the distance is an issue. Even with her living so close, I feel like my kids are only wanted when it's convenient. My mom will sometimes ask to keep my kids overnight and tell them they can spend the night, but almost every time they end up coming home before the night is over. The explanation is usually that one of my kids was crying for me and wanted to come home. The thing is that same kid spends the night with another family member without any problems. So I have a hard time believing that that's the real reason. Lately, I've started noticing other things that make me uncomfortable. I found out that when my kids are at my mom's house that she often has my younger siblings watching them instead of watching them herself. I also recently found out that the oldest son was outside on the trampoline by himself. Maybe some people won't think it's a big deal, but it bothered me because I expect my children to be supervised by an adult when they're spending time with their grandma. At this point, I feel like my kids are welcome until they're actually there, and then people are ready to send them back home or pass them off to someone else. My children get excited to see their grandma and family, and it breaks my heart watching them love people who don't seem nearly as interested in spending time with them. I don't know if I'm being overly sensitive because these are my kids, or if it's something, or if I'm seeing things clearly. I don't expect anyone to babysit my kids if they don't want to. What hurts is that my kids get their hopes up over and over only to be sent home early or treated like a burden. The harder part that is this is basically all the family I have left. My relationship with my dad is is already strained because of things that happened after my son came home from the NICU. So if I distance myself from my mom and sister too, there won't be much family left. I would also mean it would also mean losing a lot of contact with my younger siblings who my kids adore. I don't want to cut people off unnecessarily, but I also don't want my kids growing up constantly chasing relationships with people who don't make them a priority. Has anyone gone through something similar? At what point do you decide that keeping family around is doing more harm than good? Would I be wrong for going low contact or no contact, even if it means my kids lose access to some family members they love? Update. So with everyone's comments, I thought I'd do an update. Everyone seems to not understand how bad our world is these days. My son is 2, my oldest daughter is 1, and my youngest is 9 months. I am a stay at home mom. I'm always with my babies. I don't know a mom that would let their 2-year-old be outside on a trampoline alone. None of my kids are allowed outside alone, and if they are outside, so am I. They are too young and still need to be supervised inside is different. My 2-year-old and my 1-year-old can play independently. My 9-month-old, not so much, but she can be left in her pack and play with a few toys, and they are still babies. I'd rather not risk them, so I've decided to stop overnight and consider low contact if the behavior continues. I love my mom, and my kids love my mom, but there's a line that when it comes to my kids, I will not look past that line for anyone. Thank you for everyone who shared comments. Okay, so I I'm honestly on your side because yeah, that's pretty messed up. Um, I feel like if you have to pressure someone into having a relationship, whether for you or your kids, then what's the point? You know, like um, it's constantly something that we have a hard time with too in our family. And yeah, it's that's really uncalled for your kids to be outside by themselves, especially at that age. I would be definitely having some words with her because that's not okay. But anyways, let's look at some of the comments. Not wrong. Stop overnight. Supervised visits only. Your kids are learning to love, and love is unreliable. Protect their hearts. You're a good mom. Build chosen family. They deserve better. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And I hope that you were able to figure it out. And yeah, good luck. All right, see you guys in the next one.